Hey, happy love day, y'all. It is February 14th, a day of love, a day for lovers, and everyone's just celebrating and they're just into the moment, but they're also having sex. And since I'm not getting any tonight, I figured why not do a video on celibacy? So jump in and see what I have to say about it. For many people, Valentine's Day can be just sad. SAD, Singleness Awareness Day. And that can just trigger loneliness, depression, feelings of inadequacy. Like, why don't I have anybody? Everybody's posting their bae and their boo and their engagement and their roses and things like that. Where is mine? While I don't have a significant other just now at the moment, it doesn't mean that it won't happen one day. As I mentioned before, singleness is not bad, but I mean, one aspect of it that I can't stand, and I'm going to be totally honest, is the no sex part for me. I have chosen to be celibate. I've been celibate for 10 years. I'm going to say that one more time because you did not mishear that. 10 years I have been celibate. While I do love singleness in the sense of like I'm discovering my purpose and my passion and spending time with the Lord, and that's all great. That is awesome. Can't put a price on that. I do miss having sex because I think sex is one of God's greatest creations. I think it's one of his greatest inventions, and I think it's amazing. Now, you might be wondering, well, just go have sex. Like, why'd you choose to be celibate in the first place? Yeah, it is a choice, right? I don't believe that it's just something forced upon you. But I made this choice because of a couple of reasons. Number one, just the reality of life in itself, right? There are times you have to step back and kind of look at patterns that you might see in your family, in society. And I was raised by an awesome, amazing single parent, but I don't want to be a single parent. I don't want, certain things that come along with that. And while there are no guarantees in dating or marriage, I really want to just be on the side that God advocates for in the Bible. And this is not a judgment video. If this is not your lifestyle choice, keep watching. This is an anti-sex or a conversion tactic to get you to be like me. Absolutely not. Your journey is your journey. This is mine. Definitely know your truth and know your lane and know why you made the choices you made. But for me, I identified certain patterns in my life and I just realized this was the best choice for me. Of course, yeah, it's prevention from STDs. It's prevention from just oopsies and surprises and oh snap, this happened. Broken hearts and drama that come with relationships, that's heavy enough. I don't need the addition of that physical connection that I made with someone. Like some of these guys that I think back, I'm like, thank God I didn't sleep with him. For me, it's just been something that I've just constantly done, and I look up and another year passed, and here we are 10 years later. A little bit of background. Celibacy is the act of abstaining from sex after you've already had sex. And abstinence means you've never had sex before and you're abstaining from it, whether for a lifetime or a period of time. And so I've actually had experience with both. I was abstinent before marriage and came to my marriage a virgin, married a virgin, and that was amazing and awesome. It was not easy, but it was definitely easier than what I'm dealing with right now, because now I meet men, of course, who are not virgins. I'm not a virgin, so I remember what sex was like, and I remember how amazing and just good it was. Now I know very vividly what I'm giving up and what I'm saying no to. And I'll say this, celibacy is easy when you're not tempted. When there's nobody around, yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm celibate, I'm celibate. But when he's fine and he loves God, that's to me when that struggle happens. But yeah, if you're not attracted to him and there's nothing there, you're like, yeah, I'm celibate, that's no problem. That's just me being real. I'm sorry. Like, I think you can be Christians, but yeah, let's be real. There's some Christians we see that you're like, oh, okay, I can see why you ain't got none for a while. I see. Okay. But then there's some you're like, Jesus of Nazareth, like, help me, because, oh, marvelous are thy works, oh God. So it's hard. It's not something that is taken on lightly. So I definitely want to drive that point home. So a lot of times I know I've seen a ton of videos and books and people are like, yeah, I'm just going to be celibate for 3 months. I'm going to be celibate for a year. And my advice to you is really think about what you're doing. Because to make this successful, you have to have a plan. There is no way that I would still be celibate if I didn't have accountability and if I didn't see the big picture. And when I say accountability, that means I could not do this by myself. There have been times where I've gone out on dates and I've had friends and I'm like, hey y'all, I'm gonna need your help. Like, this brother is fine. And yeah, okay, so I'm gonna need you to FaceTime me and I need you to check in. Don't send me a text talking about, hey girl, you good? Because I'll be like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm super. I'm super. I need you to see my face. I need eye contact. And that might seem intrusive for someone, but for me, that's what I need. Get in my business so that I can make sure that I stay true to this pledge that I made to myself and to God and to my future husband. One thing that keeps me going too is I have this idea of that day, what that wedding night would actually be like. And so until I see that, until I have the same last name as you, and until I have 2 rings on my finger, it's just not going down. And no, we're not having sex in your twin bed. No, we're not having sex in your queen bed. No, we're not going to a hotel. No, so I just kind of have certain standards for myself that keep me guarded, that keep me safe. And I make it very complicated so that it's not easy access. And one of the reasons that I've chosen this lifestyle is not because it's easy, but because I really do believe that God created sex to be exchanged in covenant, husband and wife. I do believe that it's something that isn't just to make kids. It's supposed to be the wildest party every time, day, afternoon, night, whatever, on your special anniversary, or just because it's a Tuesday. I believe that it was one of the greatest languages that I discovered with my husband. There are many times where it was a language that you spoke without words sometimes. And that's not something that I want to casually engage in with just anybody. And so in the meantime, this wait has been hard. It's been long, and it's definitely been lonely, but it's been very protective. What do I mean by that? So typically when I meet a guy, right, they're like, oh, Natalie, you're so pretty. Okay, all right, okay, I'd like to take you out. I'm like, all right, sure. And usually within the first conversation or so, I bring it up because I can't assume that A, that's your lifestyle choice, B, that you will like to take this journey with me. And I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste my time. And most of the time, as soon as I say that, they're like, oh, okay, well, take care. They don't leave me at the table or whatever, but it's usually very clear that this is not going to go any further. There have been some times where the guy's like, you know what? I've never encountered this before, but I'm curious. I'm willing to try. They put up a good try, and if that's just not something they're passionate about, they also exit stage right. And so it's not easy, but I do believe that there is somebody out there who will wait for me. Now, does this mean that he has to be living the exact same lifestyle as me up until now? No. I think that as long as you have a heart for it, and as long as you are patient and willing to wait, we can work something out. I think that waiting is sexy. I think self-discipline is sexy, because there are going to be times in your marriage where sex is just not an option. Whether it's you're sick, a business trip, something comes up, and I need to know that you are not about to just crack and break because you've never been told no. You've never been made to wait before. And so it's just very important. I think it's just a good discipline to develop even within yourself. Another question I get asked sometimes is, so Natalie, celibacy, okay, I hear your story, okay, 10 years, but does this also include masturbation? And to be quite honest, yeah, no, that's also in the no touch zone. And what do I mean by that? Once again, not to judge anyone who feels like this is the way that they need to engage in self-love or anything like that. But for me, it's not an option, because I really do believe sex was made to be selfless. It's not a selfish act. When I come together with my husband, I am all about pleasing him, and vice versa. He's all about pleasing me. And I think that masturbation kind of takes that element out, and it makes it very much focused on you and what you can get out of it and your pleasure. And it sets such a standard and such a high bar that, I mean, is there anybody who can meet it once you learn yourself so well and you learn what makes you feel good and what you don't like and things like that? I think it takes away the adventure of sex, the journey of sex that you have when you are connected with someone. That's what sex is for. It's supposed to be, let me learn what works for you. Let me figure out what you like, and let me tell you, don't do that no more. I think sex it's a journey, but so many times we try to treat it like a sprint, like just get in, get out. And, have as much as you can with other people and things like that. But for me, it's a story that I'm waiting to read for the second time. Of course, perfectly soon. But in the meantime, if and when and however long, I make videos about celibacy, and I try to encourage other people, and I work out, and I do yoga, and I just try to stay as active as I can. So I think that this video needed to happen. I got tons of questions about celibacy. People were like, oh my God, tell me, how do you date somebody with no sex, and how do you bring it up? So much so that I was not able to answer all of them in this vlog. So I'll definitely do a part 2. But in the meantime, if you have more questions that you want answered on this subject or something else, leave them below, and we will connect next time. Happy Valentine's Day. Love y'all.